Act. And once Nssf Act is taken away, it will leave Nssf naked for these vultures to take our money. Secondly, in that law, there's also where you want to think, somebody wants to think for us. You find that somebody has failed to pay pensions in the government and thinks that we, the workers who have accumulated our wealth, they will give us in piecemeal. That is wrong. And I want to warn the minister. He's not here, but let this message go to her, to him. We are not allowing that bill with that kind of arrangement. Because we know some people are trying to play around with our money. They can play around with the other resources, but this Nssf, nobody is going to touch it.
Thank you, Chairman. All right, there's a gentleman's hand.
Actually, if you allow me,
yes,
I'd like, this is a very important point, and Wilson is absolutely right. I think that they are very, they're very strong views even on management and on the board about some of the clauses in the LIB bill, right? And if you recall, I have been very, very careful. I have not used the word liberalization bill. I've actually used the word reform. I think that what needs to happen is that that law needs to be changed fundamentally so that it reforms this sector, right? To allow us to do some of these interesting things which we believe our members want, right? Like new products, like being able to go to the informal sector, like being able to offer midterm access. So I think that that's where the problem is. I think that the area where Wilson is very right is we do not want to destroy the Nssf. We believe that Nssf has actually proved itself and can actually resolve the problem of many of our savers. I mean, just comparing it with the public service scheme, you know, with no disregard to them, I mean, definitely our members get their money and some of the people do not get their money. So I think that it's just that we need to make those reforms which will help us operate slightly better in this market.
All right. Yes. Keep it short.
Thank
Your
you.
name? Yes.
My name is Ralph Bakashabaranga of Bank of Uganda. I have two questions. One is from a member's perspective. It draws from the pension towers. The chairman, Mr. Kaberenga, has labored to tell us the genesis of what has happened with the towers, but he has not told us what the board's deliberate actions are. He has not given us timelines in terms of when this project will be actualized. So if you could please throw more light on that. The second is from a member's perspective, rather from an employer's perspective. I see in these glossy pamphlets, we have two employers' representatives. I would like to know what is the criteria of selecting these representatives and how, as an employer, I can get my concerns addressed through them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is becoming very hard. Okay. There's the gentleman there standing. I will come to you. Yes. Quickly. Keep it short.
Thank you very much. My question is to Richard and perhaps the investment committee.
First. Your name, so we can...
My name is Deepak Pandey. I'm from Jubilee Insurance. I have a question about your target return to members, which is pegged on the 10-year average inflation rate. I feel that given your sound and diversified and somewhat aggressive investment strategy, this should be pegged on the 365 days yield on treasury bills at least now. So I'd like to see the target return to members to be at least 2 to 3 points above the 365 days treasury bill yield. Thank you.
Very nice. If you all kept this question short, would be good. There is a gentleman in white here. Next, yes, here, on the next table. And then I'll come back to Richard and the chairman.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Maurice. Mine is to the chairman and the MD. Basically...
His name?
Your name, please?
Anatoli Batabane from Green Resources, Uganda.
The first one is basically, it was asked earlier on, but I need more clarity. It is unfortunate that the minister is out of here, but put on record. We would like to know, as members of the fund, why they are putting up so many regulators. Nssf is supervised by Bank of Uganda, the Ministry of Finance, and we have an able board. And if the regulators, the fund manager, the custodian, and then the regulatory body are to be funded off our savings, I think it's unfair to the members. Then, to the chairman, I still ask one question. Our contributions are being deferred for accrual of any interest up to 24 months. Why? Like the contributions of July 2016, we'll only see interest on them in June 2018. Thank you.
All right. I will come back here. We are done this side. So I'll come, Mzee, I'll come. All right.
All right, I will give a shot to some of this and then I'll let my chairman conclude. Rough timelines for pension towers. I believe that I can confidently say that within the next 12 months, we should have a contractor on site to start on the process. Unfortunately for us, the pension towers not only has been impeded by our own processes internally, but has also been a subject of many investigations, both from the regulator for the procurement, the PPDA, and also from the Inspectorate of Government. And unfortunately, that has, we've got to let that process proceed before we actually resume construction. However, I can say that the board within the last couple of weeks has now given a go ahead, and the matter is now with management. We are in the process of making sure that we get a contractor through the PPDA process, which we believe, as I said, should be finalized within this year to enable us. However, I'm not one who is very religious, but I think it's perhaps not a bad thing that we've not been able to bring pension towers, because one of the things that you probably know is the glut within the property market, which means that we might not have been able to get all the tenants in there. But we are hopeful that the things are changing. Oil is coming back. Suddenly we begin to see the cash of that. We're very, very buoyed about the market. We also know that the market is very segmented. Pension towers is meant to be a grade A. There are very few grade As. The grade As that are in the market, you can count them on your hands, and they are actually fully let. So we believe that within that market space, the top end of the market, we should be able to find some space in which to rent, find tenants into our property. So, act of God, act of circumstances, but it certainly is working in our favor. You asked the question on employers, how do you get onto the board? The two employers are nominated by FUE, the Federation of Uganda Employers, and therefore if you do want to give your input to those members, you can contact them through the federation, which is based somewhere, I believe, in Tinda or Namanga, can't remember. Namanga side, yeah, near Red Paper, that side. So that's where basically you can give your input to. DPAC, I think there's DPAC did raise our target rate. The reason we do not use a short-term target rate is because we actually long-term. We don't play in the short term. We don't have any treasury bills on our books, for example. All our investments are beyond 3 years, actually. 3, 5 years. We're mostly in the 5-year space. We are mostly in the 15-year space. And I know that the bond size for the 15-year is not that great. And there isn't any paper that is beyond that. That's why one of the other reasons we go into places like Tanzania and Kenya is because they've got a longer dated maturity paper extending up to 20 years. Just for your information, DPAC, our members, 70%, Remember that number. 70% of our members are less than 30 years. That means that if they are to wait for their 55th birthday to claim their money, they will need to be investing with us for 25 years. So there is no reason for us to be able to invest in the short-term treasury bill market when we don't require this money for the next 25 years. So that's the reason why we benchmark against a 10-year bond, 10-year inflation target, because we believe that we are a long-term investor, which is the other thing. I think there's a whole misconception in the market that NSSF is running interest rates in the commercial banks up. Commercial banks are playing in the short end of the market. We don't play any role there. Our exposure, in fact, to the short end of the market, i.e. deposits with the commercial banks, is about 270 billion shillings, which is a very, very small proportion of our investment. So that's why we use a long-term target, because we are a long-term player and we are playing in the long term, and we want to reward our members for saving us in the long term. I hope that explains it. Anatoly, obviously we agree that the regulator, first of all, by getting involved and suggesting things like the fund manager and the custodian will increase the cost. But I suppose that there is the cost benefit, right? So the benefit is that the risks are reduced with the fund, and the regulator is also happy that there are other third parties that are involved. Just one correction, Bank of Uganda is no longer a regulator for the NSSF. That role has now gone back to the regulator. It was only there when they hadn't set up a regulator. The Minister of Finance's role is not actually regulation. They are involved in policy and they're involved in guidance. So the board has some things they consult with the ministry, but largely that regulation is done by one regulator who is the regulator for pensions. There was another question to do with the contribution, but I think that was for the chairman. So the chairman, can you chip in now?
Well, pension towers at my brother Raf at BOU, all I can tell you is that one, we are most grateful to the former board members and leadership who conceptualized this project. We've reviewed it, we find it is a good deal. That's all we can say. The board is persuaded that this is a good deal that should be pursued to completion. So far, 50 billion shillings has been sunk in this place.
Excluding land.
Excluding land. So it is a 3-year project. If we started sometime 2017, add on 3 years, we should be cutting a ribbon or tape somewhere 2019, 2020. The board is persuaded on this. The Ministry of Finance and Government is persuaded on this. And the PPDA, they are doing their job using the law. They're a bit slow here and there. Inspector of Government does not come to any organization unless people have gone there to allege. And some people have gone there and made several allegations. And I think those allegations mainly because everybody, as I told you, even those who have not built a 2-bedroom house want to build pension towers. So they keep going there, jostling, but your board is firm on this, and we think we shall deliver in the nearest, I would say, in the short to medium term. Insurance inflation targeting, we are in the end long-term market, and the board is happy that members' savings are protected in capital by inflation indexing. To be able to pay anything above inflation is very good, and the board will continue to pursue this policy. If there is a profit element, yes. In funding, we always look at 3 things. 1, we want capital protection. 2, we want a profit addition. 3, we want liquidity so that in case the members come, they should get their money in the shortest possible time. And I can say we are happy with the inflation indexing. Regulation has been talked about. Now, deferment, paying members' interest basing on 12 months ago. I think if I was a member, unfortunately I retired and I got my good money, which I spent in 3 years, I was empty. I think we need to discuss this, we who have gone through this, so that we can advise those who are coming, they don't fall in the same trap. Hence, in many countries, you find they pay you a bit of a lump sum and a bit of annuity to protect you against some of this. Mine was 3 years finished, and it was very sad. But I'm trying my best to keep going. So, this deferment of paying after 12 months, your board finds it as a point of concern. But it is in the law. Which law is this?
It's the Nssf Act.
It is in the Nssf Act. I think when we look, we are saying we are pushing for some amendments of various clauses in both the Nssf law and the UBRA law. This is an area that can be pursued. And I think it is there.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you. I want to come to the last question here from here. So we'll begin there. The microphone, the lady in white. Please keep it short. I think I've only been given 5 minutes to conclude this because we must move on. And Chairman, you've touched on a subject we'll discuss much later, our beneficiaries campaign, and I'm happy to invite some people who have really benefited from NSSF. Yes, question?
My name is Amm from Uganda Telecom. Mine is on expatriates. What's NSF's current position on refunding an employer's claim for expat standard contribution based on a power of attorney that the employer has been given by the expatriate to claim on their behalf?
Thank you. There's a gentleman behind you.
There's one here. Excuse me. Mine is here, sir.
I wonder where the microphone.
Thank you very much.
My name is...
Wait, who has that microphone?
Here.
Please hold. I'm coming to you. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. My question goes...
Your name?
My name is Mujema Frank.
Yes.
I'm the General Secretary of Uganda Hospitality Leisure and Allied Workers Union. My question goes to Mr. Richard, that now,
yes,
if you allow, now our money with NSSF is safe, but if you allow somebody else, those new players you are talking about, and that, for example, they come in, they start saving, we save with them, they take our money to USA. Where is the security? Because here in Uganda, the security is government. If you lose that money, how do we recover that money?
Thank you.
The other,
quickly.
Very quickly. The other one is, Mr. Richard, when you are with your NSSF, the workers there were managing the fund, and there were no losses. Now you are introducing these
Fund managers.
Fund managers. They are being paid expensively. And now if they make losses, if they do nothing, we are not going to recover that money.
Thank you.
Then quickly
Thank you very much.
The chairperson, I am asking him to
you
talk
cannot
to
have more than,
government
no, sorry,
to
please.
expand UBRA.
We can't have more
Expand
than,
UBRA
we
because
can't
it was
have more than 2
established.
questions. Thank you very much. Please ignore the last question. We'll go to,
This way.
yes, madam, you had the microphone. Let's get the microphone here and then I'll come to you, yes.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Agnes Kimwatwoki. I'm the chairperson for Women Workers in Otu. I have 2 questions. One, I don't know which mechanism NSF is putting in place to curb employers who are not remitting workers' money. And a case in point was UCB and others. Workers are contributing their money, is not coming to NSF. And 2, you've clearly said that most of our workers are below 30 years. As a way forward, why can't we plan to have a bank for NSSF so that we can borrow from our very bank as workers, other than going to other banks?
Thank
so
you.
we need that law to be pushed.
Thank you very
so
much. All right. There is a lady behind you, sir, the one with the microphone. If there's a microphone at the back there, yes. Do you have a microphone? Yes.
Yes. Hello, my name is Caroline Jacobi. I'm from ISU, the International School of Uganda. And my question, first of all, I would like to thank you for the speeding up of payment of people once they retire. It's been a big improvement in this last year. But my question is about the introduction of contributions and payments in US dollars. I understand that that is in the pipeline, and I wonder if you could give us an update on that.
Thank you. Now, if everyone kept their questions as short, we'd have all of you. The gentleman in white.
Thank you. I'm Peter, and I work with Liquid Telecom. Mr. Richard, I'd like to take you back 1 year. We were here, and there was a proposal that was tabled out about putting the workers' money in a bank, and then we access it through loans. It was brought here. You talked about it. I'd like you to throw more light about that. And Chairman, you talked about the dropping growth, which is now something like 15%. I think the reason for that is that NSSF does more of the talking and less of the actions. That most of the time we stay here and talk, and then when you go there to claim the benefit, you find yourself jumping over Mavili's building because they have refused to give you the benefit. So
Thank you.
Kindly implement the actions than the words we talk here.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. I must have a microphone closer to me here. I have the last question from here. The microphone. And let's keep it very short.
Mavili's is building, honestly. Do you have any research?
The microphone? Yes.
I think those have their own zibs.
Mavili's is not connected to
Mavili's has no connection with NSSF.
They keep it very short, yes.
I can dispute that.
I know you have prolonged my agony, but I will talk. One, when the director you came to talk, you said you can't change a program on the funeral, the funeral service. But I don't think NSSF is a funeral. You attend a funeral service. That's the fun. Two, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Kairita Christopher, Chairman, General Central Organization of Free Trade Union. And a former board member. And I have been on the board for 6 years, 2 terms. So I'm speaking of what I know. One, let me start with the pension towers. When Richard, you know, we tried our best to have that take off. We went to the place, we saw what Rocco had done. It had done the first phase very well. We went and inspected, and we were very satisfied. So when we came back to the board, we said there is no reason why NSSF, Rocco, shouldn't continue and finish that project. That was 2009. They said, 7 years ago. They say Rocco, is a Rocco of what? We want international competition. But when you look at Rocco, what it has done here, what it has done in Kigali, even Mukwano, who used it recently on Acacia, you can see what Rocco is doing. And it is our indigenous. But because of certain miscellaneous interests, the place was, Rocco was, you can go back there and see what Rocco did. You all know. That one was frustrated by ourselves here. Two, the question of Ministry of Finance, board, regulator, you can see the things we have. You are a board, you discuss something, you pass it, it goes to the minister, then the minister has got to go consult, then it comes back.
Bureaucracy.
Then that type of bureaucracy. Why don't you, as a board, this money does not belong to the government. Yeah. This money belongs to the workers here. You are not concentrating on the people who are not remitting funds they deduct from people's salary and they don't remit to you. I would like to see those people in courts of law. But we are here grumbling around. Now you have said that within 3 months, pension tower would have. You will see it. You are all here. Because
within 3 years,
when one company from China goes through, the second company writes IGG.
They say now because of this we are not properly blah blah. There is a problem. You go now to investigation. 3 years.
7
When you
years
get
now.
one, then another one comes. You say you see there was no proper blah blah blah. You didn't go through the. Then you go for investigation. 7 years. Now I don't see how you are going to construct that pension towers. But for religious people, you need our
What is
prayer.
your suggestion?
Thank you. Thank you.
My
Because
suggestion,
we really want that thing off. Do we sell it? Can we sell it?
that is a matter for the board. If I was in charge today, I will tell Rocco, go and complete that building.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Yes, Richard.
All right.
We must wrap this up. Yes.
It's getting bloody.
The reason, Richard, we may think of having a half-year annual members meeting.
Yes. No, but the reason we come to our members. The reason we come to our members is so that they can tell us, as it is. It's very good feedback. I know that one of the speakers has said that we come and talk and we do nothing, and people end up on Mavirizi. That's not true.
No, I want to.
Sorry,
just on that.
Mr. Chairman, can I just finish? Then you can supplement me. Let's not fight over this. But certainly we do listen. We are very, very cautious of our members' feedback. We are very cautious even of our ex-board members' feedback, even though they were there and they know the problems. But we will try and do our best. I think we've done well, in a very, very tough environment, in a very tough regulatory environment, in a very tough structure. I mean, as ably put by the ex-board member, you've got the ministry which has the board, and then which has management, and you've got the PPD, which then controls that. Now you've got a regulator, then you've got the Solicitor General, then you've got the IGG. All these guys are, they've got to have their piece of cake.
The outdated law.
And a very outdated law, which, as you all know, was created in the 80s when the labor markets were totally different from today. The main difference, as you all know, was that the labor markets were really run by prostators, which were quasi-governmental institutions, and this law was really to cater for them because they didn't qualify for the government pension scheme. So that's what these guys were looking at. They weren't looking at the bigger picture of having all these private sector companies growing and running the economy and having very little government interference. So I think you've got to admit that we are operating in an environment which is very constraining in terms of structure. But let's answer some of the specific questions.
I just wanted to let me intervene here about that comment. You said, gentleman there says, we keep speaking, doing little. I want to say we've been doing great. Last year, we were here. We spoke. We said we are going to work. We have come back. The fund is 1 trillion shillings stronger. You don't call 1 trillion chicken feed. We are paying 606 billion members' interest this year, 2015, 2016. 606 billion, 12.3% under challenging circumstances. That is not a mean achievement. I think members and Ugandans, we should give credit where it is due. And when you praise somebody who has done well, that person will do even much better. If you do the reverse, you will also get the reverse results. So I want to say we are working and we shall continue working.
All right, my chairman has put it so ably. I'll just deal with some of the specifics that came out of this last round of questions. Somebody asked about expatriates, and I think it was, about the powers of attorney. Actually, the powers of attorney are illegal, we've been told. And therefore, what your expatriates need to do, they need to be able to claim this money. Now, I know that the reason an expatriate might suffer is because the law requires, and it's law, the law requires that somebody must contribute to the fund for at least 4 financial years, right? If they don't do that, in other words, if an expatriate comes and only contributes for 2 years and they go away, they will not be able to claim their money. They will have to wait until the end of the 4 financial years. So, unfortunately, we've been told, advised by our legal people, that the powers of attorney are not legal, and therefore they need to be able to somehow get back into Uganda because these monies are normally quite large for them to pick their money back. There was a question which was from, I didn't catch the name, but the gentleman who spoke after Ann about other players and fund managers. I think that sentiment has been expressed. We try to do our best in the circumstances. As you've seen, we've kept our costs low. In fact, let me tell you, we've got a total asset base of 6.6 trillion shillings. If we were to outsource all our investments into fund managers, that would be an extra 30 billion shillings, all right? I don't know if you got the figures. Last year we spent about almost 80 billion shillings. So that would increase our costs by almost 30–40%. So not very good, and I'm not too sure what more value our fund managers will be able to give us, because they're investing in this same market that we are. They won't be able to find new opportunities, but as I said, we have been outsourcing part of our portfolio, and currently it's actually doing slightly less than our own portfolio, but that's what the regulation says. Agnes, you asked about compliance. I honestly believe that in terms of compliance, we've continuously done well. When I joined the fund, and I like to really share these numbers with the members, when I joined the fund's compliance level was 49%. In other words, out of the 13,000, 14,000 employers who are registered with us, only 49% of those were paying their Nssf contributions for their members religiously, all right? Today, that figure is almost 80%. I showed you the figure, it is 78%. It is the highest it has been in the history of the fund. So we are improving on compliance. And it's not because we are sitting in our offices and hoping and praying that it's working. We have put in place in measures. We've got self-assessment tools we've introduced. We've introduced a relationship management model. We've got a whole bunch of guys who just look at compliance. We've removed compliance out of branches. We've brought it into a central area in order to give it focus. We look at the large numbers. We've introduced whistleblowers. So there are a lot of programs we've introduced which have brought our compliance levels up. It's not because we're sitting pretty in there. And we assure you, our members, that if there are people there or companies out there that aren't paying their Nssf, please tell us, because that means that we will be able to come and actually investigate this. Just one more thing. We've introduced even a whistleblower website or site in which people can come in and because a lot of people used to claim that we would give them away to their employers and they might lose their jobs. But this is anonymous. You can drop in information. Please come and whistleblow on your employer so that we can begin to get all the money for you. And guess what? We've actually found that not only are companies not compliant, in other words, not paying completely, but there are companies which actually pay, but they don't include all the wages or all the salaries that are meant to be paid upon, right? So even those ones would like to know, because at the end of the day, this is your money. You are giving a discount of 10% on your wages to your employer if you're not paying your Nssf, right? So please, out there, come to us, whistleblow, and compliance will continue to improve. I think this issue of bank, everybody has talked about bank, okay? Nssf owns a bank, okay? We own 50% of Housing Finance Bank, okay? So we're trying to develop the mortgage business. And it's based on, it's got to perform, right? Housing finance will not go into the market and just begin to throw away money. In fact, we sit on the board of Housing Finance, and we know that they tried to actually expand in the real estate, and there's a lot of non-performing loans that became of the bank, right? So I think we've got to be careful what we do with an institution, even though we own it, okay? So this misconception that Nssf does not have a bank, we have a bank. It's called the Housing Finance Bank. We own 50%. We've got 3 board members who get involved in the almost day-to-day running of the company or providing oversight. So we do actually own a bank. So there's no misconception that if we open a bank, right, we will then go to our members and give them cheap loans, because that's not what it's meant to be, right? A bank is meant to make money for us, to our shareholders, and they've got to do that competing with the rest of the people, right? So I think NSSF has a bank, go and use it. Quickly, I noticed that we're running out of time. Caroline talked about a new US product. Actually, we were on the verge of launching the product. For those of you who might not know what she's talking about, expatriates who earn their salaries in dollars would like to save in dollars, all right? We have the capability of taking their savings in dollars and investing it in dollars because there are some products we can invest, and therefore when they are going back, we'll pay them back in dollars. So there's nothing in the law that prevents us from doing that. Unfortunately, our systems couldn't comply, couldn't handle multi-currency. So we are in the process of changing our systems, and I can tell you that within a year or two, I need to be careful about my timelines because I'll be held to those, but within a year or two, we will have a new system which will be able to deal with multi-currency, and therefore we'll be able to take on our savers. However, I say, and my colleagues are here in the audience, if there are customers who really feel that we must give them a foreign currency product, maybe we should run it outside of the system. I know Mr. Mwanga is here, he might be asking me why I'm saying this, but let's run it out of the system so long as there are enough controls to be able to control it. But that's something that we can discuss further. And then finally, I'd like just to make, Peter talked about the bank as well. I think I've sort of dealt with that. And then finally, I'd like to address to my former board member, Mr. Kahirita. Totally agreed. You know, it's hard working at the fund. You know that. You saw that for 6 years. Pension towers is not as easy as handing it back to ROCO. There's nothing in the law that allows us to hand it back to ROCO, as you probably know. That will be called a direct procurement. There are 3 conditions for a direct procurement. Condition number 1, it's all in the law, so I'm not giving out any secrets. Condition number 1, it must be because there is an emergency. We've failed to prove that there is an emergency with that site. Condition number 2 is there must be compatibility with the product that's being offered. Unfortunately, we cannot verify that. In other words, ROCO is the only one that is compatible with that building. And the third one is where we've bought a good or service and they are the only ones who can provide it. Unfortunately, we cannot prove that ROCO is the only.
You take the members' sentiment.
Of course we do, we do.
And it is a word of wisdom.
Yeah.
I think we may not discuss it much further here, but we take it seriously.
I must come to the end of this discussion. I really must. So give it 30 seconds.
Now, information. I'm going to ask my friend Owere to organize NOTU. I'm going to organize COF2. We walk to the president and say issue.
Christopher, if you do that tomorrow, I will implement it on Friday.
Very nice. Chairman, you had a couple of questions, but I think Richard has dealt with them. I don't know if you had a direct question to you that you think you should answer.
No, really, I think he has answered them. Mine is only to show gratitude. Gratitude to the members who have continued giving a signal of good public confidence in NSSF, and they have continued to give us 70 billion shillings of their savings every month. I want to say thank you to those members. I want to say thank you to the employers who have continued remitting this money religiously. And these are 78%, nearly 80% of the employers. And the other 20%, they have told us they have cash flow difficulties, whatever reasons, and we think without using strong enforcement methods, we can continue collecting this money for the workers. I wanted to thank the government who have given us the good environment to collect this money. And whenever we need the necessary support, government is always there. So it is a tripartite arrangement, I think, which marriage is working between the workers, the employers, and the government as designed by the International Labour Organization.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the MD and the chairman of NSSF, a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We could have taken more questions, but we really are out of time. So I want to now request that we introduce in the next stage, our beneficiaries' stories, but we have a quick intro before we do that.
They say the sky is the limit, but for some people, the sky is just the beginning. They worked tirelessly and made the most of what they had. They made investments that will continue to be felt for years to come. They did their part, and now they are ready to tell their stories. They are the Nssf Friends with Benefits. Meet the men and the women who got their Nssf benefits and used the money to do something life-changing. 20 contestants, 20 inspirational stories, and a top prize of 30 million shillings. And you, the viewer, get to choose the winner.
Just tune in to NTV, Urban, and Bukede TV every Sunday.
The Nssf Friends with Benefits show, proudly brought to you by
Nssf, a better life.
All right. I'm sure those of you who have been watching, have seen the show, the Nssf Beneficiaries campaign. The show is on air. But even today, those of you who have picked a copy of the New Vision, we have one of the beneficiaries there, Daniel Nssf Amm, who did briefly share with us his story of what he has done with his money from Nssf, a brilliant story, personal story of the benefits. And then, unlike the chairman who spent his in 3 years and finished it, Nssf Amm actually has a brilliant story for that. But now I wanted to invite a beneficiary who we will share with in this first video, Edmond Molondo. Edmond, please come.
Oh Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for bringing us all together. We thank you, Lord, for the gift of life, most so for the gift of life to my husband.
I'm called Molondo Edmond, 39 years old. I am a hypertensive patient. In July last year, it shot high and I collapsed.
Eddie was losing strength every other day. He was having difficulties in moving. He was always dizzy. So his situation had really become very severe.
There was a lot of pain in my chest. And this had gone to the extent of waking me out of sleep. I would just wake up out of sleep and then, start crying because of the pain. I was taken to the Heart Institute and they discovered I had 3 of my vessels blocked.
Somebody has 4 vessels, and out of the 4, 3 had already failed. So he was just like having one matchstick left in your matchbox. The moment you lose it or any small problem with it, that's it.
I last worked with the National ID Project under Ministry of Internal Affairs due to the problem of the heart I had, because I was in and out of office, so I was laid off.
It was really a bad experience when I heard that my husband was suffering he had a heart problem. We couldn't believe as a family.
So this is what happens when someone has a heart attack. It happened with Edmund. So this black tubular things you see are heart arteries. They supply the heart muscle. So the heart pumps blood, but the heart itself needs blood. When the heart is not receiving enough blood, you feel pain and you start to have heart failure because your heart now is not functioning.
And the recommendation was I was to go for the operation in India.
We decided to tell friends about it because they didn't know much how he was suffering.
As friends, we couldn't sit on and wait for the worst. We agreed to do something that we could do to raise the money and take him for the bypass surgery he needed. We had a big budget to fulfill, and the money was not coming as fast as possible.
Among the friends, one of them told him, can't you please go and access your Nssf money?
I went to Nssf and submitted my documentations for medical, and they told me I'll be falling under the terminal illness benefit. My savings were processed within 15 working days. So I started on the travel to India for the operation around February. These are the 2 scars I got after the operation. The lower scar is where they harvested the vessel to be used up on the heart. They had to open the the chest, cut the bone, and access the heart sac where they placed the two that were harvested down. Currently, I'm far better than before. The wounds have healed and the pains have gone. I've finished the period the doctors recommended for rest, so I do small home activities. I work in the garden. We have like a small side garden at home where I go and clean. And in the evenings, I do walks of around 3 kilometers as exercise for my body. And this has greatly helped my health because I feel I'm going back to normal.
We are happy to see him back, active and able to be there for his young family and even for us as friends. We are very, very thankful to National Social Security Fund. One, for keeping the money. Two, for availing the money when we most needed it. There wouldn't have been any better time. So in essence, this saving actually saved his life.
Of course, I had many doubts about getting that money. But when I got the call that my money was on my account, I think, I believe now NSSF is real. So people should save.
You've watched Edmond's story. He's here before us. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Very quickly, I know we really have run out of time, but we would want to hear from you. How's this changed your life? From the time you applied for this money and it was received and you went for treatment, you're much fitter, you're much healthier. How's this changed your life?
Thank you. I think I don't need to introduce my name again. You saw it on the video. When I got the money, my life changed because before I went for the operation, my whole life was at stake, I should say. In the first place, when they told me I was supposed to go for the operation, I looked for money and there was no option to raise the money until a friend talked about NSSF and I did follow up. When the money was given, I was a very happy person. I went for the operation, came back, and here I am living because of NSSF.
Thank you very much. I don't want to keep you any longer. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you too.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mulondo, thank you very much. Okay, this is very touching. So as much as we may want, yes, anytime.
Maybe before I go, we are in the Friends with Benefits campaign. I'm happy to tell you that I've managed to move to the second stage, and I humbly beg you to vote me when the time comes.
Perfect campaign. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, I wanted to invite our other beneficiary, Alex Ojambo, to come and request for the video to be played.
I joined Now Rise in 2001 as the head of procurement. This is the office where I used to work before retiring. How are you doing? Hey, you are fewer than I left. What happened? Oh, you've gone for lunch. Yes, nice to see you. Before I joined Now Breweries, I was with Uganda Breweries, and I think that's when I noticed they were taking off my money because I thought it was little money, and now they were chopping it off, that they were giving it to NSSF. I didn't like the idea of them deducting my NSSF money because I wasn't getting enough, and therefore chopping a portion of it was discomforting for me. Before I retired, I went to the office in NSSF in Jinja, I was given the forms that I filled, and they told me just check on your bank in about 2 weeks to get your money. I invested it in the property that is behind me here. It's a property that I thought was good, and it will keep me at a level where I will not be constrained living a comfortable life. Because I believe there are many people who work out of Jinja, especially in Kampala, who daily move from Kampala and they go back. I charge only 5,000 shillings per person per night. It has some conditions. You must be willing to pay for 90 days in advance. You don't cook in the facility. It is only you sleeping there. Basically, we provide the bed. If I hadn't served with NSSF, I think it would be very difficult. I would have no interest in being in an area like this. So perhaps I would be in the village down in Busia, burning charcoal. I'd like to dissuade anybody who thinks that it is a nightmare to get your money from NSSF. That's a myth. Only 5% of my monthly earnings that was being taken and kept by NSSF, and my employers, the various of them I worked with, could add on another 10%, and NSSF adding on interest. One, they were keeping it securely. Two, they were adding on interest. And three, they were willing to give it to me when I needed it within the shortest time possible. I feel very satisfied and a happy person.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story of Alex Ojambo. Alex is here with us. Alex, first of all, I'm pretty surprised. Your motto is unheard of. You are charging 5,000 shillings. I have not found any beautiful housing at that rate, but there is a catch. It must be 90 days minimum. You're staying with me, right? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
450,000.
Yeah.
For 3 months, 450,000 is the cheapest rent you will get anywhere in this town. Share with us your story. How did you, first of all, come up with this brilliant idea? I'm sure the money you had with Nssf led to this.
I think I can give you the story, but before that, I am a family man, and it does good for me to introduce my wife, Florence, across. If you'll stand up, Florence. And I have children and grandchildren. The house is an idea that came through to me because as I moved towards retirement, I remembered 15 years or 16 years ago going to Jinja, trying to find a decent accommodation, and I couldn't find one. The reason was I was working in an organization that was substantial. I was a senior manager, but I had a home within Kampala. If I had to find accommodation in Jinja, I could not stay in somebody's boys' quarter. It just did not work out. But also, I did not want to have another house in Jinja because I would have to be running two houses with high costs. Therefore, I looked for somewhere to stay and I couldn't find. The hotels were too expensive. I therefore thought that this could be a selling point for people, for the corporates who are in the same position as I was 16 years ago, staying in Kampala or anywhere else in the country, working in Jinja because there are many organizations there, needing accommodation, decent accommodation in a high-end area at a low cost. So what it means is that you give me 5,000 shillings per day. The 450 is your computation. I ask for 5,000 shillings, and if the room is there, you take it, and then you pay me 90 days in advance, and you don't cook there because we are very close, many eating places, So you can go to Nile Hotel Jinja, it's in very close proximity. You can go to many fast foods around the area. You find what to eat and come and sleep. You don't put in your laundry in the room. And we make sure you enjoy that room, because you will always find it clean. The only thing we expect you to do is to bring your sleep. You wake up in the morning, go and work, leave the room dirty. We clean it. We make sure it is as smart as a hotel room. You come back in the evening, you are satisfied, you sleep, you rest, and following day you go away. That's how simple it is. So anybody who has
a friend, who knows a friend, who needs accommodation,
come over. The other important aspect is, yes, because we know you are working in Jinja or within the area of Jinja and have a home outside of Jinja, we expect you to be out of that room on Friday, from Friday up to Monday morning. We don't force you to get out. But ideally, if you have another home, there's no business you being in that room for 7 days. And that's the catch, because when eventually you are out of that room, we are able to use that room for the people who want decent accommodation on weekends. And we've had a couple of them coming. You have a function in Jinja or within the Jinja area. You are going for an introduction. You are going for a burial. You have an excursion of any nature. But you don't want to sleep in a hotel which is expensive. So we have these 15 very good rooms that you can come and talk to us, and we'll make them available for you.
Thank you.
In the unlikely event that the occupant of that room returns, we guarantee him or her accommodation. If his room is occupied, we'll find a room of not less quality than the room he occupies anywhere within Jinja in the hotels.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Ojambo, who's part of our Friends for Benefits campaign. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us. All right. Our two beneficiaries, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. And I think there was too much talk. We must get some entertainment. We have a very short break, and I'm asking Quad A to entertain us. When we return, we move into the awards phase. And I'm sure there are a couple of people who are excited and will be walking away with awards this afternoon. Quad A.
2016 NSSF Best Employer Awards. Every year, NSSF recognizes and awards the best employers across the country. Employers who fulfill their obligations to remit social security contributions of their employees. The best employers must pass our 360 degrees test to payment of contributions on time, payment of the right contribution amounts, payment of contributions of all employees. In addition, employers must have a clean record with the fund. They should not have any arrears.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I welcome our Head of Marketing and Communications at NSSF, Barbara, to come and quickly run through the Employer Awards citation.
Thank you, Maurice. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for sparing the time to be with us today. Our board chairperson, MD, our board members present. I see our past board members as well. Thank you so much. I've been asked to talk about the Compliance Awards, but before I do so, I just want to touch a little bit more about the Friends with Benefits show. It's actually a financial literacy campaign that is geared towards helping people to learn what to do when they get their money. And it's running for the next 10 weeks on TV. You should actually watch. I've been part of that, and just by listening to the various stories, we received 450 submissions when we called for entries and drilled down to 20. And you can listen in from the first two stories already. You can see that there's a lot of inspiration. So you can watch this program on TV every Sunday on NTV at 5, and also on Bouquet Day at 8 o'clock, Urban at 8, and TV West at 7:30. Watch and also learn and also vote, take part, because like Mr. Mulondo said, we are going to reward the top person. It's all about financial literacy and for everyone to learn about the benefits of investing and also saving. Of course, there are a few inspirational stories in there, like the invalidity benefit, which we've also retained in, because people need to know that your NSSF can also be relevant when you're facing a life-threatening moment. Thank you. I'll now just go quickly. 6 years ago, you know that the fund introduced a relationship management model, and this was basically to push compliance, and the compliance levels have been very commendable, as our MD said. And today we are rewarding the top 27 employers across the branch network and overall winners. The criteria is very, very simple. We just look at those people who are remitting their contributions and who are remitting it on time for their employees. And that's the criteria that we used together with the sales and operations team, Stevens Mwanje, to actually drill down to the top employers. So to present the first set of awards, I'd like to invite our Deputy Managing Director, Mrs. Geraldine Sally. Please come. Thank you. Now I'd like to hand over to Maurice to make the citations. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Barbara. We will be calling individual branches, and then we will, of course, air the video of the winners. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll start with Arua branch.
The 2016 NSSF Best Employer, Arua branch is Agency for Accelerated Regional Development.
Please come forward to receive your award. Thank you. Could we receive the award? Congratulations. Wait, yes, please stand. There are other photographers on this side. Yes. Our next award is also again from Arua branch.
The 2016 NSSF Best Employer, Arua branch, is Arua Diocese Media Center.
Congratulations, Arua Diocese Media Center. Congratulations, Arua Diocese. Thank you so much. Our next is Bakuli branch.
The 2016 NSSF Best Employer, Bakuli branch, is Galaxy International School, Uganda.
Galaxy International School, Uganda. Congratulations. Best Employer 2016, Bakuli branch. Surprise, surprise. We have another winner from Bakuli branch.
The 2016 NSSF Best Employer, Bakuli branch, is Shire Petroleum Company, Uganda Limited.
Shire Petroleum. Do we have a representative from Shire Petroleum? Oh, yes. Congratulations. Please stand. Yes. We'll now come to Kampala, Bugolobi branch.
NSSF Best Employer, Bugolobi branch, is Kulika Charitable Trust.
Congratulations, Kulika. Kulika Charitable Trust, a big congratulations on your award this afternoon. Thank you very much, Geraldine. Thank you so much. You can now take your seat. Allow me invite Sarah Wolsimbi to award the next category. And this is City branch, which we will start with.
The 2016 NSSF Best Employer, City branch, is AF Mpanga Advocates.
Our friends at AF Mpanga Advocates, NSSF Best Employer 2016, City branch. These are lawyers, and we want to congratulate them on their award this afternoon. Congratulations, AF Mpanga. We now move to Entebbe branch.
The 2016 NSSF Best Employer, Entebbe branch, is New Rest Uganda In-Flight Service.
New Rest Uganda In-Flight Service. Congratulations. Best Employer 2016, Entebbe branch. And because of time, you really request that as they receive the award, I move on to the next branch. So I'll move to Fort Portal branch.
The 2016 NSSF Best Employer, Fort Portal branch, is Médecins Sans Frontières.
Congratulations, MSF. NSSF Best Employer 2016, Fort Portal. Congratulations. We move to Gulu branch.
The 2016 NSSF Best Employer, Gulu branch, is Sinfa Uganda Limited.
Congratulations, Sinfa. Representation from Sinfa Uganda Limited from Gulu. Thank you so much. And finally, this category is Hoima branch.
The 2016 NSSF Best Employer, Hoima branch, is Community Effort for Child Empowerment.
Congratulations, community effort. Anybody notice that these are regular organizations, not your big organizations? I hope you noticed. And it's a talking point because of their compliance. Ladies and gentlemen, they receive these awards. So now you know what to do. Congratulations. I will now would like to thank Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much. I want to invite Andrew Obita to come forward for the next set of awards. We'll begin in Ginger.
2016 NSSF Best Employer. Ginger branch is Tilda Uganda Limited.
Our rice partners, Tilda, congratulations. We move southwest to Kabale.
The 2016 NSSF Best Employer. Kabale branch is St. Francis Hospital, Mutolere.
Congratulations, St. Francis Hospital, Mutolere. Mwakoze chane chane. We now move to Kawempe branch.
The 2016 NSSF Best Employer. Kawempe branch is Airmac Limited.
Congratulations, Airmac Limited, NSSF Best Employer 2016, Kawempe branch. And finally, in this category is Chireka branch.
The 2016 NSSF Best Employer. Chireka branch is Tata Uganda Limited.
Our car manufacturer friends from Tata Uganda Limited, NSSF Best Employer from Chireka branch. Congratulations, a big congratulations to you. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Tata Uganda. Thank you so much. And I want to thank our board member, Andrew, for helping us with this set of words. Andrew, thank you so much. I want to invite the UBRA chairman, Andrew Kasirie, to come forward. Okay, if he's not here, may I ask the UBRA CEO? Okay. I will probably then now ask our Auditor General to come forward. Please come. It's not every day we ask you to do these things, other than count numbers. All right, so we will quickly move to Lira branch.
The 2016 NSSF Best Employer. Lira branch is Sustain Uganda Lira Regional Referral Hospital.
Congratulations, Sustain Uganda Lira Regional Referral Hospital. Do you have any representation? All right, we'll keep the word for them and pass it on. We move to Masaka branch.
The 2016 NSSF Best Employer. Masaka branch is Cotton On Foundation Uganda Limited.
A round of applause for Cotton On Foundation Uganda Limited. We move to Masindi branch. I'll give my team some time to work on this. Yes. Masindi branch, Village of Hope Primary School. Village of Hope, congratulations to you. And finally, Mbale branch in this category. Mbale branch.
16 NSSF Best Employer. Mbale branch is the AIDS Support Organization.
NSSF Best Employer Mbale branch, the AIDS Support Organization, TASO. Congratulations, Tasso. And I'll ask the Auditor General to stay with us for the next 3 districts, which are our final districts. Mbarara branch is where we begin.
16 NSSF Best Employer. Mbarara branch is Lakeside Dairy Limited.
Congratulations, Lakeside Dairy Limited. Our second last district this afternoon is Mukono branch.
The 2016 NSSF Best Employer. Mukono branch is Polysac Industries Limited.
Congratulations, Africa Polysac Industries Limited. The Best Employer 2016, Mukono branch. Thank you very much, Mr. Mwanga. Thank you so much for awarding our winners. And now to the big ones. May I invite the Nssf MD, Richard, to help us award our winners in the bronze category.
Nssf 2016 Employer of the Year Bronze Award winner is Kampala Motors Limited, a company specializing in import, distribution, repair, and maintenance of vehicles in Uganda with 12 registered employees.
Congratulations, our bronze award winners, and I request Richard to stay, and I now invite the chairman who's going to award our silver award winners. May I now introduce the silver award winner.
The Nssf 2016 Employer of the Year Silver Award winner is Jubilee Insurance Company of Uganda, an insurance service provider with 79 registered employees.
Congratulations, Jubilee Insurance. And then may I now also request the same team to remain and award our gold winners tonight. May I introduce the gold awards?
The Nssf 2016 Employer of the Year Gold Award winner is Electricity Regulatory Authority, a government agency that regulates, licenses, and supervises the generation, import, transmission, distribution, and sale of electrical energy in Uganda, with 49 employees and over 107 million shillings monthly contribution to the fund.
Congratulations. All right, there were 2 awards we skipped, and I wanted to invite the winners from both from Soroti branch. If you're here, please come. Institute for International Cooperation. Institute for International Cooperation. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And may I also invite the Nssf Motherhood Project. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Do you have representation? Yes, there you are. Congratulations. All right, now to the Platinum Award winners.
The NSSF 2016 Employer of the Year Platinum Award winner is PricewaterhouseCoopers, the world's largest professional services network providing audit and assurance, consulting and tax services with 134 registered employees in Uganda and over 130 million shillings monthly contribution to the fund.
Congratulations, PwC. And now, ladies and gentlemen, may I invite back somebody who's very crucial in our business. Again, the Auditor General to come and join his colleagues. Mr. John Mwanga, please come, as we award the Overall Winner Award. Ladies and gentlemen, the Overall Winner.
The NSSF 2016 Employer of the Year Overall Award winner is DFCU Bank, a leading financial services provider with 812 registered employees and over 375 million shillings monthly contribution to the fund.
Congratulations, DFCU. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause. Our 2016 NSSF Overall Award winners, DFCU Bank.
When I tell everyone that you're in love with me, congratulations.
Now, very quickly,
and jubilations.
I want to ask all those who received the awards, please come forward. I want to ask DFCU to remain and the team to remain. Everyone else who received an award, please come forward. We'll have this quick photo because some of you are about to run away. So before you run, please come. Every one of you who picked an award, please come. Let's have a very big group photo. And please smile, because this will be on the front page tomorrow morning. This will be on our TV screens this evening. So come with your best smile. And let's share the podium, please. All our winners this afternoon, please come. And those with your smartphones who want to represent your organizations, who want to tweet using our hashtag Nssf Amm16. I haven't forgotten. I think our team is monitoring our selfie. How is our selfie doing behind there? Can we retweet our selfie? Or Richard's selfie? Okay. We are not yet done, ladies and gentlemen. These are the 2016 winners. Congratulations to all of you. One more minute. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2016 award winners, thank you so much. All right, if you could take your seats, I won't keep you long. Please take your seats, and I won't keep you away from your lunch. But allow me now invite Charles Odoch, who is the regional coordinator, Balanced Scorecard Institute, to quickly run us through the Balanced Scorecard. And it's unfortunate you have to do it very quickly.
The chairman and members of the board, the executive director, NSSF, staff, management, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am greatly honored to present the Strategy Excellence Award to Uganda National Social Security Fund, and would like to recognize the high level of commitment to change and transformation exhibited under the leadership of the MD, Richard Pierugava, and his management team and employees. When we started the balanced scorecard journey about 4 years ago, the entire management team of NSSF went through a very rigorous training program, and after 5 days they had to sit for an exam with George Washington University. On completion of that course, the entire team passed with flying colors, and that's why we are here celebrating their achievement. Their determination and hard work has resulted in NSSF achieving the Balanced Scorecard Institute's 2016 Award for Excellence. The Award for Excellence is presented to outstanding organizations that have used a balanced scorecard framework to improve and sustain high organizational efficiency and effectiveness. Over the past 10 years, the award has been given to organizations that have put in place mechanisms to become more strategy and customer focused. The National Social Security Fund is one of only a handful of organizations to receive this award in 2016. There were several organizations worldwide that submitted their applications for this award, and out of all of them, we only had 3 organizations qualifying worldwide. One of them was BioBridge Global, which deals in blood and blood products in the United States of America. The other organization is the Office of the Secretary of Defense, the U.S. Army, a Healthy Base Initiative. So we have 3 organizations receiving this award this year. The criteria for this award includes the organization must have an inspiring shared vision of the future. It must have continual clarity of communication. It must have stakeholder transparency. It must have strategy alignment. When you come to NSSF, you realize all the employees are aligned to the vision and mission of the organization. All the business units, the budgets, the technology that they use, the projects and initiatives that they undertake drive the success of their strategy. The organization must have evidence of effective performance reporting and use of performance information to improve decision making. And I must thank the executive director. Your presentation today was brilliant. For those who know the balanced scorecard, the executive director was actually explaining how he has happy staff driving processes that work efficiently and processes that make customers happy, and customers who are happy that give you good financial results. I like the balance in your presentation. The organizations also must exhibit individual and collective accountability and must have continual focus on strategy and results. We at the Balanced Scorecard Institute are honored to have worked with the leadership team and employees of NSSF who made this accomplishment a reality. The Institute is very proud of what you have all achieved with your strategy and performance scorecard system, and what you will, no doubt, continue to accomplish in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, the Balanced Scorecard Institute presents its 2016 Excellence Award to the National Social Security Fund.
I want to now request the MD and the chairman to come and receive this award. A big round of applause to NSSF. And a wonderful CEO will always invite his team that does the job on the ground. So the escort team, please, you've been asked to join in receiving this award. Yes. Clearly. Ladies and gentlemen, a big congratulations to NSSF.
Congratulations and celebrations when I tell everyone.
Award for Excellence in 2016 from the Balanced Scorecard Institute.
And jubilations. I want the world to know I'm happy as can be.
Congratulations. Thank you very much, the NSSF team. Thank you, Charles, for the citation and the award. Thank you very much to the Balanced Scorecard Institute. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. But before we go, a couple of things. One, please continue the discussion on our hashtag Nssf Amm16. And also, if you have any questions and queries, you can find NSSF on Twitter at NSSFUG and on Facebook. Please do post your questions there. But before that, we have a very short video clip.
Deep in the heart of Africa lies Uganda, a land with unparalleled charm, whose people are as friendly as they are beautiful. Its capital city, Kampala, has a vibrant blend of cultures and traditions. In the heart of the city is the National Social Security Fund, NSSF, the pension fund for the private sector that was set up in 1985. By the year 2010, the fund was in trouble, caught up in scandal after scandal. Staff motivation was at its lowest, customer service was poor, and the fund faced stunted growth. A management team was brought in, led by Richard Biarugaba, the managing director. They adopted the Balanced Scorecard tool for the development and monitoring of a new strategy.
Using the Balanced Scorecard 9-step process, a new strategy was mapped out for NSSF, and the Balanced Scorecard Institute in Kenya supported us through the training process.
We all agreed on strategic objectives. We developed measures at individual, departmental, and organizational levels.
It was a cultural revolution of performance-based activities, and the staff loved it. Strategy became everyone's business.
The results have been incredible.
By 2016, customer satisfaction had risen from 50 to 89%. Staff satisfaction had risen from 49 to 86%. Turnaround time on benefits had reduced from 105 days to 8 days. NSSF now has motivated staff, bringing great joy to our customers.
There is no turning back in using the Balanced Scorecard. We have a 2025 strategy with objectives of reaching a 6 billion asset base, customer satisfaction of 95%, and the staff satisfaction of 95%. This tool will get us there and make us the social security provider of choice.
A big round of applause to NSSF, ladies and gentlemen. And it's on that wonderful note, ladies and gentlemen, that we end the 4th annual members meeting. We want to thank you all for coming. And see you next year, same place, and I'm hoping same time. All right? So we want to thank you, want to thank our partnering TV stations that broadcast this event live. We also want to thank our partnering TV stations that are running the Friends for Benefits campaign. You can watch that on TV, and that is ongoing. You can read the stories and follow the news on those that have been beneficiaries of NSSF and what they've done with their money. And as Barbara said, this is really about financial literacy. And yes. And there was a big announcement. I know all of you are still seated because I haven't mentioned where lunch is. I was staying away from that. But clearly, I have been told I have to tell you because I thought a few of us needed to go for this lunch, not everyone. But anyway, lunch is served for everyone. As you walk out, you'll be led to the serving center. Please do not leave until you've had our lunch. This is part of your money. Now when I mentioned lunch, everyone stood up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Good afternoon.